Hello, I'm Stephanie Smith, an English trainer at Language Institute i-diom. In this video, I will be clarifying the use of the simple tenses and the progressive or continuous tenses so you know when to use the proper tense when speaking. Let's begin by defining the simple tenses. Do you know what they are? If you said present simple, past simple, and future simple, you are right. I call this the simple family. Great. And what about the progressive or continuous tenses? Depending on the grammar text you are using, the same tense may be either termed progressive or continuous. In this lesson, I will use the term continuous. The continuous family also consists of present continuous, that's one, past continuous, or future continuous. In this lesson, you will get an overview of these tenses, rules as to when to use them, and key words that will help you identify which tense to use. This is valuable information, so listen carefully. Let's begin with present simple. You may be thinking, present simple. This is for beginners. My English is quite fluent. Perhaps this is the case. However, even intermediate speakers may be unsure as to when to use present simple. If you're thinking, well, it's easy. One should just use present simple when one is speaking in the present. Unfortunately, this is not the case. We use present simple in the following situations. 1. When an action takes place repetitively. For example, I eat breakfast every morning. 2. When an action is an usual occurrence. For example, the plane usually leaves on time. 3. When making generalizations about people, places, or things. For example, California is sunny. Doctors are intelligent. Be careful. You may hear native speakers using present simple for events happening in the near future. The train leaves at 5 p.m. this evening. The class begins tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Of course, you may use the future simple for these sentences as well. The train will leave at 5 p.m. this evening. The class will begin tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. But the idea is that native speakers use present simple because the event is thought to be true or expected and in the near future. So future simple is not normally used for such cases. Luckily, there are key words that help you determine whether you should use the present simple tense or another tense. These key words are never, always, sometimes, usually, normally, typically, every, often, only, just, and still. This is for present simple. And what if I'm doing something right now? Can't I use present simple? No. This is a tricky thing in English. If you are in the middle of an action, you must use present continuous. Here are some rules to help you remember when you should use present continuous. Number 1, if you are in the middle of an action, for example, I'm listening to music at the moment. Number 2, an action that occurs over a duration of time. I'm studying to become a doctor. Or she is reading a good book right now. He is waiting for his final exams. I always tell my students when thinking about the continuous family, think Jackie Chan. Ho! Action! For those of you who are into physics, the ing makes the action span over a period of time and can be more easily understood when a picture is like a wave. In present continuous, you can think of this waveform as representing an action in the present. Okay, so we have looked at present simple and present continuous. Do you know why these two sentences are written in present simple and present continuous consecutively? The first sentence, the lawyer works in an office downtown. The lawyer is working in his office downtown. The first sentence is a general statement about the lawyer and his daily routine or repetitive activities. The second sentence means that he is in the middle of the action of working. If you want to know where he is now, you can find him in his office. Let's move on to past simple and past continuous, shall we? Past simple in English is simple in the sense that it refers to something that happened in the past and is finished. There is no connection to the present or the future. In English, we have two forms of verbs, regular and irregular. To find the past simple form of the regular verbs, just add ed. For the irregular verbs, one must acquaint themselves with the list of irregular verbs forms usually located in the appendix of all grammar texts. How would you change this sentence from present simple to past simple? I work as a physician at the local hospital. If you said, I worked as a physician at the local hospital, you are right. It means you used to work as a physician at the local hospital, but you do not work there anymore. Simple. Past continuous is no longer a challenge once you have this idea of action in your mind. Action. Past continuous is actually easier to understand than present continuous. It is merely an action taking place in the past. How would you change this sentence from present continuous to past continuous? We are watching a movie. If you said, we were watching a movie, then you are correct. I worked on my thesis all morning. I was working on my thesis all morning. They read the marketing report before the meeting. They were reading the marketing report before the meeting. Both versions are correct. It just depends on what the speaker would like to convey. Something that is finished or an action that happened in the past. To learn more about the exciting world of tenses in English, contact Language Institute Idiom. I'm Stephanie Smith, and I would like to wish you a great rest of your day.